Hello, my darling. And this episode is focused on helping you turn on your inner fire to trust in the divine timing so that you can create a life that your soul knows on a deeper level is not only possible, but is waiting for you on the other side. All you got to do is show up. Today's episode is really focused on helping you to rekindle the spark within so that you can redefine what's possible for you. And this is an episode that I've been waiting to create for the past several years because it is all around how I have personally manifested one of my wildest and biggest dreams. No, it's not the dream of becoming engaged to the love of my life, although that is one that you've heard me talk about before and was very, very high at the list. This dream, this wild, big dream, has been brewing in me for over a decade. And although, of course, as a woman, we always desire to be finding our life partner, to be married, to be, having a perfect, not even a perfect, but a beautiful life where things are flowing in a way that feels more perfect, more effortless, because nothing is really perfect. And in fact, this whole journey in this episode is going to debunk the idea of the manifestation process being perfect, that the way that we think things are meant to go is going to be perfect, because we all know there's no such thing as perfection, but there is always progress. And as we can swap out perfection for progress, we can experience so much more pleasure and joy in the process and in the journey of manifesting our biggest and greatest dreams, girl. And so I want to start by saying this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my personal experiences on how I've stripped back limitations, how I had to awaken even a bigger roaring feminine fire within myself to stay the path in order to manifest booking a TEDx talk, which, hello, that is the wildest goal and dream. I have booked and landed my first TEDx talk happening in Atlanta. And the title and the theme of the talk is called The Audacity of She. I mean, honeys, could we have manifested a better, more aligned platform for me to show up and share what I have to share, the gift of my journey, the medicine of the priestess, and of course, bringing y'all on for the journey with me as we bring this pleasure reclamation mission that I have been on for over a decade to the mainstream, and dare I say, the big stage in a greater way. And this for me is a really like holy fuck full circle moment, because when I first felt the urge, the nudge, my soul stirring to do a talk like this, to do a TED talk, I was still working in my corporate job with Cindy Crawford. I was still in my corner office. I was feeling the urge to leave and to quit, but I hadn't known where or when I would jump into the next iteration of my career. And it was me watching a video in my office on my lunch break. I closed the door and I was watching a Deepak Chopra video all around leadership. And he had said something that sparked literally full body chills and awakened this desire within me. And in the video, he was talking about how the world needs more leaders. This was over a decade ago. The world needs more leaders. And the journey of the hero or the heroine can step up. But there was a line when he specifically said, it's the moment when she decides her destiny and she decides to step forward as a leader in the world, not because she needs to be the leader, but because she feels the call in her soul to step up and to step forward and to lead others out of the darkness and into the light. And when I heard that, my whole body got goosebumps and chills, and I felt the desire to step into a leadership role like I had never felt before. And there was doubt on how that was going to show up. And I danced with the idea of how would that show up for the week? I thought about it. I thought about it. And then I saw a TED Talk by, I think maybe it was Brene Brown at the time. It was Brene Brown. The one that really got for me was Sheila Kelly, the founder of S Factor, who's created the striptease dancing, pole dancing way for feminine embodiment. And she got on the stage. I remember watching her get out on the stage on her TED Talk. And she started with a pole dance. And I was mesmerized. The way that she showed up in her feminine embodiment, the way that she danced and stripped and teased and then spoke about femininity and feminine power. I was just in such awe. And inside of that moment, of that 1 week, right? So working in my corporate job, sitting in my office, looking at these videos on my lunch breaks, my like 45-minute lunch break, eating my lunch at my desk, watching a video, not going on walks or having pleasure breaks at that time. Again, over a decade ago, that is where the desire first awakened within me to say, I want to be on a stage like that. I want to share my story like she's sharing her story. And I want to show people what's possible with healing, expansion, and embodiment. And that's where the first seed was planted. Now, I got serious about this desire. And when we get serious about our desires, shit starts to happen. We can toy with the desire. We can dance with the desire. We can dream about the desire. We can think about the desire. We can journal about the desire all day long. But until we take action, the pathway of possibility to the desire cannot start to manifest and begin to pull the desire towards you without actually getting serious about it. And I started to get serious about it 5 years ago when I was in Mexico with a girlfriend, and we were there, and I saw this TEDx cutout thing in Tulum. And I was like, girl, I declared it. I was like, I am going to get on that stage. Mark my words. Take a photo of me. Right. So I have this photo of me wearing a little bikini top and a black skirt with my thigh out, with my leg up on the TEDx stage, being like, this is me. Right. And me and my girlfriend, I declared it with her. And that's when I started to get serious about the desire. I said, I'm going to do this. It's not just an idea. I declared it. I vocalized it. I was witnessed in front of another woman who celebrated, who amplified, and who was completely supportive of the possibility of this dream happening and manifesting. And that's the real importance of community and supportive sisterhood that can really amplify your goals and your dreams and your desires. And, again, that's why I love women's work so deeply. And these women containers that I create is because when we are in those containers, it's so healing. It's also so expansive. And it really does create this magic and serendipity and really being witnessed by another woman. It's a way for us to embody our readiness and embody our power and be a stand through the body for what it is that we say we want. But here comes the vulnerable part, is that we don't know how or when it's going to happen. Now, that was 5 years ago that I took a stand and I said, I'm going to do this. Now, 2 years after that, I met Naeem, my now fiance, and we were dating at the time in the first 2 months. And he was asking me about my goals and my dreams. And I told him that one of my goals and dreams is to do a TED Talk. I was all excited about it. He could see my passion. He could see my desire for it. And I told him, like, yeah, this is what I want to be doing. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be on that stage. And I'd said it with such confidence, but also such certainty and ease. And again, didn't know how, didn't know when. And Naeem said to me, oh, I have someone that you should meet because she actually helps people just like you get onto TEDx stages. Would you want to meet her? I was like, absolutely, I want to meet her. Yes, I do. And so he organized for me to have a meeting with her within that month. Her and I spoke. I was a full fuck yes. And I hired her to be my TEDx coach. Now, I fully believe in investing in our goals and our dreams and having support and coaching all along the way. It makes it easier. It prevents so much distress and potential downward spirals that could take us down for days or weeks, fuck, even could be decades without the right type of guidance to kind of keep the bumpers on us so we stay the path, we can see the path, and we have someone to be walking that path with us makes a world of a difference. And so I knew, and I do know, the power of investing in a coach. My clients obviously invest in me as their coach for them, which is really them investing in themselves. And the same thing, I invested in her because I was investing in my big goal and my big dream, and it wasn't a small, low ticket item. This was a high ticket investment. And that's what required me to show up in a high energy and a high quality and a high serious level way to make sure that I was fully invested in this dream. Just like I did in my relationship, I went all in, every ritual, every practice, every book, every teacher, every mentor that I needed, right? As long as my own capacity and willingness to do things on my own and integrate, the same thing here, the same thing. And it was an energetic alignment that I knew was matched and aligned. I said yes. I signed at the dotted line with the contract and made a high ticket purchase on my dream. And that's when I knew, yes, like the feeling of excitement mixed with a feeling of fear, mixed with a feeling of relief. If you've ever invested in a high ticket coaching, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't invested yet, this is an invitation to do so because there isn't quite a feeling like this in the world. It's scary as fuck, but it's arousing and it's exciting and it's enlivening in so many ways. And suddenly there's a big relief, a wave of relief, a sigh of relief, and also this deeper peace of mind of like, okay, the transformation and the desire that I want's happening, and I'm not doing it alone. And now I'm not fully responsible for having to know how and when to get myself there. I have support. To me, that is such a practice of self-love. That is such a practice of devotion. And that is such a practice of investing big in the things that really matter, right? Because when we pay attention. And we pay attention because we got skin in the game. So before I go into, because now you know, it's 3 years later, literally to the month, that I have not only manifested, but I am going to be delivering this talk, which is short considering many people wait their whole lives to be able to do this. So 3 years seems like a short amount of time. For me, oh my God, it felt like forever. I was thinking, wow, I'm going to invest. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the talk. It's going to happen. This is going to be so perfect. I'm going to line it up. It's going to be so easy. I got the right team. I got the right investment. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. Like, perfect. Thank you, universe, signed, sealed, and delivered. How many of you have ever also felt like that when you've made an investment or you step towards your dream or you got the goal or the career, or the man or whatever it is? And it's like you made that next step, that big level of investment of time, of energy and resources. And you felt like, fuck, yes, it's perfect. This is aligned, ready to go, ready to rock. And then the universe had its own timing and plan, God's plan, a divine plan, a way bigger plan than the little old me could have imagined it to be. Have you ever had that too? If you're listening, I have a feeling that that's happened to you too. Because on the journey to big goals and big dreams, it's never a straight line. Never, 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 never is it a straight line. Ever. Right? And there's actually a symbol called the Umanlumi, which represents the symbol of enlightenment. And it's a swirled, I have it a tattoo on my arm. It's It's a path that swirls on its way up, that twists and turns and twists and turns to remind us that the path to desire and enlightenment is not a straight path. It's never that way. It doesn't mean that we're on the wrong path. In fact, it's actually a question and a testament to the faith of how strong of a belief, how strong you're invested, the level of certainty that you can continuously cultivate to be unstoppable when it comes to your dreams and your desires. And this is exactly why hustling and pushing and gritting doesn't actually work when it comes to aligned manifestation, because again, there's a greater plan to why things are happening the way that they are happening. And for me, girl, I did not think it was going to take 3 years. I thought it would be a 1 year done. So much so that I told my friends about it when we did our dinner table celebrations. And I was seen in the desire. I was ready to go. I was happy about it. I was working on the script and we were submitting full stream ahead. I needed to start to do video auditions, which I felt awkward AF about, even though I can do podcasts and interviews, but I'm not an actress. So I'm not used to filming myself and doing a script and pitching myself in this way. So that was absolutely a new edge for me. And what I found was that I needed to bring my high energy in order for my message to really, be conveyed. It couldn't just be this, mental planning that was going on in my head. And then I show up and I submit. It's like, no, I had to become her, capital He, the higher version of myself, version of her, the version of me that embodies readiness, the version of me that embodies the audacity, the version of me that can call forward and spark my passion and my energy on command and demand as I will. Because I'll tell you, recording videos over and over and over again, they didn't tell me that was a part of the process to manifesting my dreams, that I would need to get more comfortable, more comfortable, more comfortable on camera, right? New edge, which doesn't seem like it would be, but it absolutely was. And when you do it over and over and over again, I started to feel very tired, very lackluster. It actually took me weeks just to get 3 of these audition videos down. And again, no matter how much of the mental planning I did, I had to embody my power and show so they could feel my readiness. And this is something that, again, for your goals and your dreams, it's going to ask you to reconnect to the bigness of who you are when you have that dream. So thinking about for yourself in this moment, like, who do you need to be? What's that girl, that higher version of you that you need to be in order to be a match for the bigness of your own big dreams? So if you're wanting to be a CEO, right, that's running multiple teams, are you going to have enough energy? Did you cultivate enough energy to be able to manage those teams? Or entrepreneurship. If you're wanting to have a booked and busy, sold out courses and programs, or a business where you're, selling commodities and goods and you got to be there and you're crafting or creating your really special gifts, like, can you stay ignited to the spark of your own fire in a consistent basis instead of becoming a woman who's in a lull, who's forgotten her fire, who's disconnected from her fire on the way to her dream happening? Because as I said, it's one thing to invest and to say yes and to get in it. But then when we're in the process, it's not perfect. It's quite messy, can be quite emotional, right? Because it's helping us to shed the layers of shame or guilt or doubt or anxiety so that we can become her, the bigger version of us who unlocks her goals and her dreams, who is in her fire and her passion and in her power completely, and she's given the tea through her body, right? Through her vision, through her power. And that is where we need to bring pleasure to the party, because pleasure is that portal to possibility. And then our action becomes a pathway that guides us into the possibility to the desire. And so I'm going to use a real life example as you're kind of contemplating about that for your goal. Is once I submitted all the videos, I had no idea it was going to be this much work to manifest a TED Talk. Most people, from what I've heard, they book a TED Talk, whether it's in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whenever they book the talk, from what I know, they submit a video and then they get booked and then they show up to the booking, they do their talk, and that's it. They're done. Right. For me, I have never heard of anyone telling the real tea about the behind the scenes of booking something like a TED Talk. So after COVID, TED gets thousands and thousands of applications. And there are hundreds of different TEDx stages across the United States. And each one is getting thousands and thousands of video applications, written applications, and the ideas. So even though I thought I had a really good video and a really good application and a really great outline, I was getting no's. When I first got that rejection in my email that said, thank you so much, but we're actually not opening the stage to you, my fear of rejection, my deep seated fear of rejection came up so strong. She bared her ugly head from the undergrounds of where she was hiding out in my nervous system because, girl, I thought I had dealt with my fear of rejection, being the pussy priestess, being out in public, people being confused about it. I was like, oh, I can eat that shit for breakfast. However, when it came to manifesting this big goal that had nothing to do with, me intentionally putting myself out there with my pussy priestess moniker, but my heart and soul and my dream, like the reason of why I want to do this talk in the first place is to, spread this big message of pleasure reclamation to women far and wide and anyone, in fact, who is ready and willing to open up a new door to the feminine essence and energy in their life. And it could be men welcoming the essence of more pleasure and femininity into their everyday through a embodied feminine partner. It could be for some of my beautiful queens, in the LGBTQ community that are wanting to experience more of their divine femininity and expression of that and experience more pleasure and orgasmic potential in their relationships, but also really deeply for me, my Middle Eastern brown skinned women all over the globe that are still living in these shackles of shame and cultural and religious narratives and beliefs and these rules that keep them feeling stuck and submissive and obedient. And so for me, it's like, wow, if I can get on the TEDx stage and I can use my story as medicine and share vulnerably all of the really hard, rough, tough things that I experienced as a child, the different levels of abuse and sacrifice and scarcity, and the journey that I went on, and how I found freedom through pleasure, and how I reclaimed my body after years and decades of numbness and disassociation and trauma that seems so clinically, insanely unrecoverable from, but yet I'm here. I have to go on that stage and share it. If it saves even one person's life, if it gives even one person hope and possibility, I couldn't die in my grave with peace to know that I held back in this way. And that's why it's so important for me to do the TED Talk stage versus all these other stages that I've been on, because that's, to me, is one of the stages that's important the most. It's a stage that is designed to build big ideas and spread them throughout consciousness and humanity. And this is a big idea that I truly believe is worth spreading, and have been on my blowhorn for the last decade on my own independently. And now it's ready to be brought to the big TEDx stage and to challenge everyone in the world to see how good they can stand it, and explain to them my concepts around pleasure and pleasure potential that I will cannot wait to share with you all more once it is released in the next few months. So for me, this really big goal and this big dream, as you can see why I had a big, fat, juicy why I wanted the goal. Why do you want the goal, my love? Think about that. Feel into that. Be super clear on that. And then that why is what carried me through that first rejection. That rejection stung. And I got to play throughout with Naeem, like, fuck, maybe it's not good enough. Maybe it's too taboo. I got to see my mindset and where there was so many limitations in my mindset holding me back about what I thought was possible or acceptable, or about, any other limiting stories that I thought were going to, be a reflection of what this journey would be like. And that to me was such a life changing insight. Was, wow, notice my mindset. My mindset needs to be transformed about me and my work and this process and the stage and the people and the society. Like that for me was huge, because once I started to have that life changing insight, I shifted and did all the work that I needed to do to really reclaim my power from this whole journey needing to be like perfect and this perfect moment or these perfect responses, to just keep taking bold action towards my goals. And remember who the fuck I am. Remember that I am Josephina Bashow, that I am an Egyptian priestess, that I am here with a divine mission, that I have to reignite my power and my passion every single time and transform my mindset, because that one no, there may be way more no's about that. And if I let that one no take me down and I give power and truth to these lies that I'm telling myself, there's no way that I am going to make it through this journey. And that for me was how I started to discover these silent self doubts that were going on in the background of my own consciousness, that I could start to cut the legs out, which boosted my confidence and helped me step into my full potential by reaffirming, oh, I've got this. This is a great idea. This is a big idea. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And what I did that was so life changing, that fueled my greatest transformation in this area and sparked a new possibility for my life, a new possibility for how I was addressing and moving through the process of manifesting this TEDx talk. You ready for what that is? It was intentionally finding pleasure and eroticizing the rejection. Let me say that one more time. Finding pleasure and eroticizing the rejection. Making the rejection become fuel for my erotic turn on as a, ooh, that's a no. Great. Yes. Yes. I made every no an even bigger yes inside of me, an even bigger power inside of me. I have never heard anyone else eroticize their rejection in this way and actively turned it into turn on. So the more that I got to know, little did I know that I was not only going to be facing 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 no's. I had over 200 no's, over 200 no's before the right door opened for me. And there was a moment where I could have gave up after 150, where the team was like, we've already applied you to everywhere else. Like, I'm sorry, it's really difficult right now. They're only accepting literally PhDs and doctors right now. I was like, girl, no, it's not my reality. I don't care if that's what's happening. If I did not train myself, right? And this is, again, what I teach my clients to do, on how to actively eroticize, to transform those negative beliefs, those silent self doubts into reclaiming our greatest power, to be able to continuously fuel us in our greatest transformation of her, the one who has her desires, in the art of receiving it. I would have shut down. I would have believed it. I would have stopped believing what was possible for myself and my life in this path because of what others were telling me. And I almost gave my power away, almost, but I didn't. because I knew, instead of how is this going to happen? How will this happen? Right? Again, how good can I stand it? Okay, I got a no. I got another no. I got another no. I got another no. What a divine opportunity for me to embody my teachings fundamentally at the core root to my bones. Not just in love, not just in sex, but when it comes to these big ass, huge goals and dreams and desires in the 3D world that are not in my intentional control. Because there's a TEDx platform, there's a TEDx team, there's an approval team, there's the ultimate higher TED team that's got to approve it all. And so when she came to me at the 150, it was like, we're done. We've already applied to all. Like, I think, honey, I'm sorry. This is like where maybe we should just, stop and not really, put any more effort. It seems like it's not really going. Like, what do you want to do? I paused. I got myself into alignment. And instead of focusing, as I said, on how will this happen, I focus on how good will I stand it. And I realized that the way we were addressing it and approaching it had an energy of chasing. It's not how I actually manifest or operate or have ever manifested and actualized my dreams, was through chasing. But I found myself with my team in a pattern of chasing this talk, this talk, this talk, this talk, trying to get the goal in a certain time frame. And I just checked myself in the mirror. I was like, okay, girl, you are that badass bitch. Get into realignment, rekindle in your sacred leadership right now, right here. Do not lose your feminine fire. In fact, double down on your practices to stay deeply connected to what you know is pulling you in this direction. Pray about it, dance about it, move about it, shout about it. And then let's move forward in a new way, like we already have it. And so I told my team I want to redo my videos. I want to rework the script. I want to rework the application. And I want to go about it again from a way that this is an invitation that they actually are going to be obsessed with and cannot refuse. Versus, let me be on your TEDx stage. Oh, thank you so much for this opportunity. Like putting me lower than, right? Which a lot of people do. And that's not my go-to, but I follow the guidance of the coaching. And then there was the moment of really recalibrating that shit to really have my signature energy and essence in it, where it was going to be fully in aligned. And so I had them put more energy and effort after it was aligned with me, after I felt really good about the application. So here's a key piece here on how and why this manifested. And this is a simple strategy that's actionable that you can also do as well. When we work with someone and we work with a team and we find that they can do it, quote unquote, better because they have more experience than us, we will let them kind of guide the show or guide the ship, and we will give some feedback. But ultimately, when we really want the goal and the desire, we will trust in their leadership more. It's a human nature. It's just like leadership, right? Someone knows the terrain, you're going to follow them a bit more. Normal. Until you find yourselves lost and not getting to the end goal or the end result. And the strategy here is not to ask for them to continue to guide you or lead the ship. It's to step up as a leader and to take dominion over the ship and start to trust your intuition and your inner guidance system, because that ship is created and designed because of your desire, which means we are designed and destined to be the captains of our own ship. We can have teammates, we can have colleagues, we can have people on the boat with us, but it's got to be through our truest GPS system. And so if there's anything that's working on in your life right now where you're like, it's happening, but it's not fully happening, I'm taking steps and having some strategy. It's not about finding the right strategy. This was so life-changing. They had the strategy. They had it tried, they had it true, they'd done it with everybody else. But guess what? That strategy did not work with me. This seems to kind of happen with almost everything that I do. I'm almost the opposite of everything else that everyone has. I don't know how, I don't know why, except I believe that it's because I'm designed to be a leader and I'm designed to do things differently. And so once I stepped up, which was me stepping into my fullest potential, and once I said, we're going to do more, we're going to do 50 more, we're going to redo the videos, we're going to realign it, I'm going to redo the script the way that I want to with my flavor. We're going to have more meetings and we're going to script it out together with my voice, with my tonality, with the way that I want it to go, to sound, to be, because I know that that's what's actually needed. And I trusted my voice. I trusted that my truth was what was needed in order for this to manifest. I didn't let my wounds run me. I didn't let my old story of being deplatformed or shamed or silenced take over. I didn't even let the old story of someone knows better than me. So I'm going to give them my power so they can help me get the goal, because I really want this goal so badly that I'm going to relinquish my power so that they can help me be the one to manifest it and guide this ship. All of that had to go for me to be in my fullest wisdom. I didn't need to be perfect. I didn't need it to be the way that they thought it needed to be, perfectly written out and perfectly on the screen and saying the right things. No, it needed to be me. And whatever you're manifesting, you're creating, whatever you're moving towards, my darlings, it needs to be you. Capital YOU. Because you are the one that's going to activate your next level by stepping into your potential. And knowing that you are the woman who, right? You are the woman who, right? So for me, it was like, I am a woman who trusts her voice. I am a woman who leads with desire. I am a woman that is safe to shine. I am a woman who gets what she wants. I am a woman who leads with her full body yes. I am a woman who actualizes her wildest dreams. And just taking a deep breath into that. Right? And let that be a reflection and a mirror back to you to be in your own power. Right? Into your own power. Because when I made that shift, when we did the 50 more, when I was in LA in September, did all the submissions, and I submitted it, I felt so great about it because I'm a woman who takes bold action towards my goals. I'm a woman who does not need permission or perfectionism. Right? And if you feel this and you're listening to this, DM me. DM me with your declaration. I'm a woman who what? Tell me. Find me on Instagram and DM me. What do you declare? I'm a woman who what? Claim your big dream with me. Send it to me. Let me amplify it like I've told you at the beginning of this. And after I did that, I got the message that I have been waiting for in January, before my birthday, that I had gotten a yes, that they're welcoming me to their stage. And the theme is called The Audacity of She, that I have been chosen for my audacious message, my energy, my vibe, and they would be so gifted and honored to have me on their stage. Woo! Talk about magnetizing the right invitation, the aligned opportunity with pleasure as the pulse and direction of the GPS behind it. I was ecstatic, ecstatic. I literally got up and jumped for joy when I saw the name of the talk, when I saw it's going to be in Hotlanta this summer. I knew that there was a divine plan behind this. I knew that I was waiting and I was being tested to make sure that I was steadfast in my desire for this manifestation to be one that's in alignment. The place and the platform that was right for my voice, for my message, that believed in what I had to offer, that wanted what I had to offer and to say, and were hungry for it, honey. That's when I knew all of this was absolutely worth it. And that's when I knew all of this was working for me to become her, to have this very audacious, unabashed conversation with you on the journey, because it was a journey. It was not just a one-way jetted ticket on over there. No, it was a journey, the TEDx journey. And when I got on the call with them in February, this both happened. I got engaged, had a spiritual wedding ceremony in January, got engaged in September, got my TEDx talk approval in January, got on a call with them in February. All of this before I even turned 41. It just gets better and better and better. And I share all that because when I got on the call with them, they were elated. They had never heard a message like I shared. They had never heard a conversation like I heard. They had never met a woman like me before. And when I went on my TEDx journey, I flew out there at the end of March, celebrated my birthday, went out there the end of March, got out there. You follow my Instagram, you will see. You can actually go to my Instagram now and see there's a highlighted tab that says TEDx. You can actually see when I first got there. It'll be right there in the highlights. You can see my journey of getting there, how I've navigated, how I've operated. And once I got there, once I finally got there, ooh, it was like doves were flying in the air, butterflies were circling me. It was like hot fire, electronic explosion of goodness. Like I couldn't even put to words what I felt. But one thing that I could put to words was pride. I felt so damn proud of myself for not giving up, for not listening to other people, for not focusing on the how will it happen, but the how good can I stand it, for having joy and pleasure in the process, for letting go of my grip and trusting the timing and showing up that it was already mine to these videos. I was so elated. And you will see if you go to my highlights that the moment that I finally get and step on that red dot for the first time for the in-person rehearsal, which again, most people don't get these in-person rehearsals. They get the call, they get the approval, they show up on the day of, they do their talk and they leave. I am getting an entire transformational journey experience into my greatest reclamation of power on all levels, because that's what's available for us in this community. Yes, girl, that is what is available for us here. Every single one of us that are here, it's available. You're in the vibe with me. You're feeling this vibe with me. You are on this ride with me. We are doing it together. And everything that I'm sharing isn't a look at me. Oh my God, I'm bragging. This is a girl. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me to this opportunity. Come with me to your greatest transformation. Come with me to this journey of celebration. And I felt so celebrated when I got there. And right as I was getting ready to step on that red dot for my rehearsal practice, I stopped, I took a breath, just like I had been visualizing this moment for 3 years almost. I drank it in. I took a deep breath. My heart felt like it was pounding out of my chest. Like I couldn't even breathe almost. I was so excited. I took my right foot with my Nike platforms and I stepped on, and I got on the stage in front of the group for our rehearsals. And I said out loud, "Oh my God, my heart is beating so fast. I need to breathe." And I took a deep breath and I drank the moment in, and I savored the shit out of that moment, because that moment was for me. That moment was for my little girl. That moment was for every single one of us who's been told that they're too big, that they're too much, that what they have to say, what they have to give is a little bit too taboo, a little bit too risque, that you need to have, even bigger credentials behind your name in order to get here. That moment was for anyone who's ever experienced trauma, shame, abuse, betrayal, self doubt. That moment was for me and every single woman that I stand for. And for every single woman that has come before me in my lineage that never had that opportunity. So you better believe, in true Josephina fashion, I stopped, I savored, I drank it in, and I allowed myself to be witnessed in that moment. It's on my Instagram. You can go check it out yourself and be in that moment with me. Years in the making. I was so fucking proud of myself. And I was on my own, not with my partner, to be full presence. I gave myself time afterwards to write notes, took myself for a nice spicy mezcal margarita, reflected, journaled, called my mom. We were crying. Like I called my man. We were ecstatic. Like just, I was so proud of myself for getting myself there, for having the tenacity and the resilience and the self belief to continue to redefine what's possible for me and my life and my dreams. And it wasn't easy, but also I knew that these dreams that I have are not just random, just like the dreams you have are not random. They are sacred whispers from our future self. And babe, they are so here for you to rise to that occasion, to rise to that next level of yourself. That all you need to keep saying is yes to yourself. And so, what are you choosing today? Are you choosing fear? Or are you choosing your big dreams? Are you choosing to believe what others say? Or are you choosing your own sacred voice and truth? It's always up to you. Remember, if you want to claim it, DM me. I am a woman who, declare it, because I am so here for it. And it took me visualizing and affirmations and doing my practices and ultimately taking time and space from the coach and the experts to get clear on what my truth was, to show up as a leader and to guide the ship home. And I am so excited that I get to share with you all what is going to be coming up, because you're getting the behind the scenes right now on my TEDx journey and the content that I'm sharing in my upcoming talk that I'm going to share on my social media. So please make sure you're following me there. And just a deeper rooted to the bones understanding of how good can you stand it. There are many times I could have fucking quit. There were many times when I could have just said they were right. There are many times when I said, you know what, forget it. It's hard. It's challenging. No way would I would have thought it would have taken me 3 years to get to this stage. But I let go of the grip. I knew that this is what was possible in my soul. I trusted the divine timing. I kept visualizing and seeing myself on the stage, no matter what, smelling the room, the feeling of my foot on that red dot, like literally creating it in my mind so I can have it in my hands and I can smell it in my body. And now I get to go on that stage and teach people all about how to reclaim their pleasure and use it as fuel, just like this, to help them accomplish their greatest and biggest and wildest dreams and goals. And so I hope this episode has really served you. These literally life changing insights that I have had can be life changing insights for you to help you uncover what's possible for yourself and to reclaim your power through pleasure and stop waiting for the perfect moment and finally take the bold action right now towards your goals. If you want some support, reach out to me. We can have a conversation. I would love to hear about some of your goals and your dreams, and we could explore and see if coaching with me is a right fit for you. And again, send me a note on Instagram. Let me know what you are declaring for yourself as a woman who what? What is your desired reality? Tell me. I want to know. Don't just dance with it. Don't just dream about it. Don't just journal about it. It's time we take some action about it, because that reality, again, is God's desire wanting to move through and experience itself through you in life experience for you. Let's own your unique signature essence. Let's design your life the way you want it. And now you know why this means so much to me and why I'm going to be so elated to share it with you all. Thanks so much for tuning in this week, sending you lots of love. And my last final declaration is reminder, you don't need permission from everyone. Like, you are the permission slip. Keep having your faith, keep silencing those silent doubts, and talk to you soon. Love ya.